It is July 30th. I'm so excited that this is practically coming to an end. It's just been a lot to try and keep up with. But it's been fun. I really have enjoyed sharing so much with you all, especially all of the art on the walks, the wildlife, the adventures. I mean, it's just been a lot of fun. And also quite a distraction for myself, throughout struggling with my mental health lately. So it is also 11:43 a.m. Didn't sleep, much last night. And have been awake since like 6:30, I believe. It was kind of odd to get up early and I just feel like I haven't slept like more regularly lately. Plan for today, right? I should have picked that. Plan for today is basically going to look at the rentals. So super excited about that. And then actually I'm just gonna go do some Pilates right now and I'll be back once this stops bleeding. I've just been editing videos this morning and getting stuff ready and posted. But all right, off to Pilates. Probably gonna do 20 minutes with a resistance band. I haven't eaten yet today. I'm not sure when or what I will eat, but we'll also probably do another walk downtown since I'm heading down there to see the rental. So I also have a lot of other things I need to take care of. Spent quite a bit of time today, again, with the videos, but got really caught up working on videos for my Tortilla Land sponsorship. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I do know I love those tortillas and I'm just having a lot of fun. Making the burritos that I do with them, the breakfast burritos, and just, I love that they're simple. Anyway, I'm not doing a commercial for them in this video, but just, excited to be getting those videos together, regardless of what happens. I just love to share what I love. So that's really what that's about. A sponsorship would be totally awesome. And again, just another part of my overall journey, so I do want to just quickly recap, we have, that I submitted for the Guinness World Records to set the record for having captured the most hearts, essentially photographed or videoed the most hearts. And then also we have the fact that I'm going to hit 10 million views on Google Maps when it comes to my Google reviews. So that is super exciting. And then this third thing we'll now have is going to be, my attempt at a sponsorship for these tortillas that I love. And I just think it's so funny because I never really thought I would be doing or trying to do a sponsorship with a tortilla company. But I love it. I really do. And in some odd way, I think it just makes total sense. But I'm gonna get started with my day, let this thing heal up a little bit. Unfortunately, I have been picking my face a little bit more. That is a habit I have been, breaking my entire life essentially. But I got really good about not doing it. So I think it's something I start to do when I am really stressed. But anyway, okay, gonna get the day started. I mean it this time. Pilates is such a great exercise option for me. I have tried yoga numerous times to include 30-day yoga challenges. And there is, I believe it's Yoga with Adriene. That is really good. And she is a great teacher. I've done a few of hers and one of her 30-day, things that she had. But I just can't get into yoga. I have tried and I've wanted to love it. So I'm so thankful that I found Pilates. For me, I think it's the fast pace. It's upbeat. You're constantly doing something different. And again, I really think it's go, 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 go. 20 minutes, you're done. I also like that, I can use that resistance band, which I feel helps build muscle. So just wanted to give you my little spiel on my newfound love for Pilates there. I guess this is my breakfast. I just don't really feel in the mood for much. but I am like really thirsty. I've had a couple of bottles of water already and a cup of coffee, but just drinking this now, which I don't normally drink these. These are just a very occasional thing for me. But love how it's no sugar added and then just a bunch of good things inside of it. So I'm gonna take a shower and then I'm either gonna take the bus downtown, or depending on when Javier gets home from work, he may just go with me to see the rental and we'll go see it together. But just really excited to get that over and done with. So ready for that. Okay, so just called the property management company for the property I currently rent, and she's so great and so flexible. Talked about a few different things. So maybe staying here is going to be an option. And if anything, she's being really flexible on the notice to vacate. Instead of 60 days, she said, just give me 30 days. So that's a lot more manageable. So some options now. I felt like I went from having no options to now I'm like, okay, more options. And what do I want to do? But still gonna go look at that other rental. Gonna jump in the shower and get that done now. Still have not gone to look at the rental yet. But just having a sandwich with a secret ingredient. Make sure you check out that What's Kate Cooking video, although I didn't cook it, obviously, just threw it together. But this is gonna be lunch. Not sure about dinner yet. Maybe I'll fast early today. We'll see what's going on there. I was thinking about a dessert, so maybe some more of this mousse. I've had it for a few days. I just take a few bites at a time. I also have this pavlova, but it was left out and then re-refrigerated, so I'm just not sure if I really want to try that. But update on the rental, it did start raining pretty good here, again under a flash flood warning. So just decided to wait on that for now, especially with the change, thankfully, from my current property management company, but just tons of rain out here right now and didn't want to fiddle with going and looking at a rental. However, I'm trying to decide on what to do for a walk today. So I may just wait for the rain to stop and then eventually go walk. Let's check out the outfit for today though. Okay, so it's July 30th. Okay, July 30th. This is the outfit for today. You know, honestly, these pants, I cannot wait until I get rid of them. Again, just had to have some sort of clothing because none of my clothes were fitting anymore. But these are really like a trip hazard. They're a little bit too long. And I've caught myself like tripping on them, and they're very, very wide. I wish I could. Actually, let's try this. So yes, as we can see, they're just very long. And again, essentially like a trip hazard. So we'll be excited for when I'm going to be able to get rid of these. Again, they're just a nice, comfortable, lightweight thing to throw on. And then just this cute little top paired with it that's got like ruffles on the sleeves there. So final outfit for the experimenting with freedom journey here. Just wanted to share, of course. One last twirl. Now, I am also considering drinking tonight. And part of that, I think, it's not like I want to drink today. I'm actually having a pretty decent day of like not wanting to drink. And I had noticed yesterday, in yesterday's video, I thought it was interesting because I had mentioned too, like, I'm just not really in the mood to drink. Like, I kind of want to, but I didn't have like that urge or that impulse. And so, I thought that was interesting because, you know, I ended up finding that rental at the last minute and going to check it out. And had I been drinking, I probably wouldn't have done that. So, but then ended up drinking later yesterday evening. But anyway, trying to decide what I want to do today because a part of me is kind of like, you know, just get it in. You're going to have a fresh start come August 1. you know, so technically I have like today and tomorrow that I could drink. So I don't know. It's just really in my mind, like, I'm going to seriously be cutting down. So do I want to just take advantage while I am doing it now? I just can't decide. And so the other thing is that I still need to make a decision about the rehab. And I know last week maybe I had given myself like a 14-day timeline as far as if I can't get this under control, then I'm going to do the rehab thing. And as we saw, like, did good not drinking as a couple Friday night. And we've actually had a lot more sober days together, which is really good. And it's just something we do. You know, we hang out and we tend to drink and stuff. But and a lot of that is me instigating that and taking the initiative on it. But so drink really, really heavily Saturday night. I mean, blackout drunk. So that's not good. And then I know I've not drank a few days. I just can't even, I don't think I've had a streak this week yet either. So I don't know. I know I probably way overthink everything. But I do need to get serious about the drinking. And even my therapist was, mentioning how it does not serve me. And she is right. It does not serve me. So why would I really continue to do that if it's not having a positive impact, and is actually rather harmful? So, but then again, that's where it goes to, for one, it's a way for me to cope. It's been extremely stressful. And I don't know. And then just the impulses to want to do that. And again, not just the drinking, I talk about the drinking, but it's really the eating as well. So just considering some options there. So we'll see what happens. I think for the rest of the night, I'm really just gonna, again, take my walk here in a bit and then lounge and watch TV, just relax. I've been trying to breathe because there's now a new situation, which really should be an easier process, but unfortunately it's not set up that way, right? So that was brought to my attention today. And so now I have that stress and high anxiety back. And I just hate, feeling like worry. So I'm really just doing a lot of breathing exercises today as well, even just throughout watching TV, just trying to calm myself down. Like, it's okay. So, and again, a waiting game on that one. So we'll see how that goes. Just a lot going on. I got ready to walk because there is no way I was wearing those pants to walk in them, and I'm glad I didn't go anywhere today because I did wear those pants when I took out the trash. Obviously that was the outfit for today. And walking back from throwing away the trash, I was like lifting the pant legs up. And two, there's just such a fear and anxiety when I wear those pants that I'm going to trip over the legs, the pant legs. So again, now that I'm saying all this and realizing just how cautious I am, I think part of it though is because I did recently fall, and injure my ankle, which again seems to be doing pretty good right now. I'm gonna ice it later. I have not iced it yet today. But my whole point was the pants is I think I'm realizing I need to just get rid of them. If they're giving me anxiety when I wear them, I have enough of that, right? So, but really not motivated to walk today, trying to figure out where I want to walk as well. So it's been over an hour since I said I was going to take my walk. I just really am lacking motivation to do it, but it's starting to get dark. So I'm going to go do it now because once it's dark, I'm definitely not going to probably do it. So gonna just go take a walk. Now I probably don't even need my sunglasses, but I love them, so they're coming. But here we go. I'm gonna walk down this way and do a little tiny path that's located in a residential neighborhood over there. It's supposed to be only for that community, but I'm like, it's not going to hurt if I take a walk there. I'm not hurting anything. But I'm just curious to see how much water has gathered. This is a creek, but really nothing. And I'm hoping I'm going to beat the rain. Of course, I did not bring my umbrella. So here's where we've gone left, we've gone right. Today we're going to go straight across the street. Now this path, part of it that we're walking today, is part of the walk I did 5 days a week throughout the Doing All the Things challenge in June. And I really did want to share that hill with you. But with my ankle, and I know it seems to hurt more when I'm like on an incline, I just don't want to push it, and I am pretty tired, and I don't want to get caught in the rain. So again, just keeping it short, and I did have to find the motivation to even do this walk. Sometimes once I get started, I'm good, but just really not in the mood for much for whatever reason. Well, it's a cute little house. This area is interesting because they're like homes that are connected. So I guess like townhomes, but some of them are only connected via their fence. Now I felt a sprinkle. And another one, of course, again, didn't bring my umbrella. Hair is curled today. I was also curious to see if any water had accumulated here under these little bridges, and it does not look like it. So this is just a really cute, simple area. Oh, we can see the sprinkles, the raindrops. And just a really simple walk with just slight inclines. I honestly even forgot these slight inclines were here just because I always focused on the major hill. I knew I should have grabbed my umbrella. It's okay. So what have I learned these past 30 days? That, in regards to sustainability and balance, I've learned that I'm not really good with balance or moderation, right? I'm very extreme. It's part of my personality. I'm very all or nothing. That is why usually once I get a streak going, I can do pretty well. But again, just so many stresses. I've learned that the behavior I use to cope is not sustainable at all. The excessive drinking, the eating excessively, and again, I do not encourage or promote those behaviors. So, just learning that maybe I was doing that a lot more than I was thinking, especially the eating. Really kind of had no idea how bad that was. I do want to say I am good with balancing water. Well, there have been many times about me talking about going to get liquor. We have me in the Chick-fil-A drive-through getting only an ice water with lemon, stopping in McDonald's the other day to get an ice water. So like, and you know, several times when I am out drinking and showing my drinks, there's a water with lemon right there. But again, like, I can balance the water with the drinks. I'm just not balancing the drinks, right? Not moderating that. So, and again, this is just a super short little path here. I think we're gonna just turn around and walk it in reverse. Let me see where we're at. So actually perfect. I just checked right at 0.51. So I'm just gonna turn around here and head back home. In all honesty, I'm gonna head to King Soopers, probably buy a bottle of wine. I know, right? Here I am talking about how I have trouble moderating it. So I don't know. I guess maybe that's something else I've learned, that maybe I can't necessarily conquer all of this on my own. You know, rehab, again, going to a treatment facility, I don't know, would be a good idea. My therapist very much so supported that idea as well, as being probably like the best option for me. So, and I think there is a little bit of shame and embarrassment with that, right? But we have to look at it from, I am a person who has experienced severe trauma repeatedly throughout her life from a very young age, and like horrific, right? So you know, I want to address the sleeping too. I think doing this, we came that way, but I'm just going to go this way. Recording constantly and sharing my sleep the last 2 months has really showed just how messed up my sleep schedule is, whether I'm sober, like I was for all but one day in the month of June, or like July, where I've been drinking, you know. And the whole experimenting with freedom was, let me allow myself the freedom to have and do whatever, whenever. And how am I going to manage that? How am I going to find sustainability within that? Can I find balance and moderation? And I've got a lot of good ideas from it as far as what I need to do and implement. It's just a matter of making those changes. Okay, so the sleep. I need you all to understand that just because I do not sleep and then am out running around, for one, does not mean I'm on drugs. I'm not. The second thing with that is that I'm in survival mode 24/7 consistently. It's not that I'm well and energetic. It's that my body is running off of adrenaline. That's not healthy, and that's definitely not sustainable. So really having to address the reasons why I'm not sleeping, is then again using the alcohol and weed to cope with that, to put me into a slumber, if even temporarily. So essentially me not sleeping and still running off of adrenaline, having quote unquote energy, is not really that kind of energy. And now I think I'm understanding why, in I think the June videos I had mentioned, I don't feel this natural energy that I know I have. And that's why. It's because this is adrenaline based. It's not my pure, true, natural energy. So definitely wanted to address that. I did want to take just a brief moment and talk about one other stressor. It is very dear to my heart, though, this stress, because it involves my son Dante. And I know we hear Javier's name often. That's my younger son. Now, Dante is my older son. He is the he's my son I had when I was 14. I did have Javier at 18. But Dante I had when I was very young. And he's unfortunately continued for like 10 years. He'll be 26 this November. To make very poor choices. But he's also struggled with his own addiction. And I think that has been really hard for us as a family. So Dante is currently incarcerated for the next 5.5 years. This isn't the first time he's been incarcerated. I've honestly just not even cared to try to keep count. Nor is this the first time he's been to prison. So I did set some strong boundaries and said, if you go back to prison, I'm not going to accept your calls, put money on your books, all those things. And so I'm not doing that. And that has been really rough. It's basically like losing a child, grieving a child while they're still alive. And I mean, I loved him. I had him when I was 14. He really changed my life. My choice, though, right? But so just a little bit of, filler information about other and additional stresses. And it really goes back to, we don't know what other people are going through or experiencing, no matter what it looks like from the outside. So I basically walked home from the store. For one, I put my hair in a bun because I was like, the least amount of it that gets wet will be good. I'll be able to retain my curls. And then I grabbed a paper bag and basically was just protecting my hair. Now, had I not curled my hair, I wouldn't have cared. And I really kind of don't care, but I don't have energy for everything. So like, I don't want to go curling my hair again tomorrow. And I did want to circle back to, the situation with my son, Dante. It has been devastating, really, for me with him and his situations. Now, gosh, gotta love kiddos, right? Look, Javier made himself a sandwich. But it's been really hard and it's been devastating. And he's actually called me a few times since he's been incarcerated again. And I have not answered his calls. As a matter of fact, this last week, he's called me quite a few times. And I mean, like, twice a day on certain days. And it's tempting to answer because I love my son. I want to talk to him. But at the same time, I know I need to follow through. And honestly, I can't handle any sort of drama he may be experiencing. I know how that sounds, but I've gone through so much with him. And maybe we will get into that at some point. And I don't want to say I've gone through so much with him because this is his life, right? He's been experiencing all of these things. But as a mother, when you're trying to do everything to help and nothing's working and it becomes tough love, right? Like, he just has to learn on his own. And that's just hard. So I don't want to answer his calls because I also don't want to have to say, no, I'm not giving you money, because I'm not. I made that clear to him. So again, just a really difficult, challenging situation with my son, and wanting, there to be more of a relationship there and to not even have to be in this situation with him. But yeah, that breaks my heart daily. He is always on my mind and in my heart. And I'm just continuously wishing, praying, hoping that he will get tired of these choices and the consequences, and at some point understand that he deserves a much better life for himself. So that's what's going on with my older son, Dante. And again, just going back to some of those stresses that occur and we don't see, right? No matter how good it looks, we don't really know what somebody is going through. And that's another thing, me dressing up, me putting on lipstick for my walks. It's all about, how can I just try to make this as good as possible with what energy I do have. and fun, because I think when something can be or seem fun, it feels worth it, right? So that's what a lot of my dressing up and doing everything that I do is, and distraction and everything else. I do also want to touch on the fasting. I have mentioned and do talk about fasting quite a bit. And for me, it really is a game changer when I adhere to it. When I fast, I feel like I do find balance in my life because I won't drink after a certain time. I won't eat after a certain time. And it really does help in a sense for me, like it helps regulate those ways that I cope. It doesn't help the sleep though. So, yeah, fasting I do love. I really do. I'm a huge advocate for fasting. And that is something I do want to start implementing again daily. And I do, even though I haven't been tracking it lately, I do somewhat try to kind of keep track of how I have been fasting. But again, with me drinking, it's going to throw it off anyway. So, unless I consider it a really dirty fast, but I really only do that like when I'm truly fasting. Anyway, that's a whole thing on its own. The other thing I wanted to touch on is lower carb. I really do love to eat lower carb. I have been eating a lot more carbs lately. I think we can see that that's been obvious. And again, I haven't been cooking at home the way I normally do because just don't have the energy and the mental capacity to really like think about meals right now. It's just easy to order out. And again, going back to my personality and it being all or nothing, I'm, all in on the carbs right now. So I'm going to eat everything I want to eat, basically, that I haven't been eating. But again, big believer in eating lower carb. Again, not like zero carbs, not low carb, just eating less carbs in general. So that's another thing I do hope to implement as well. And again, going back to drinking 3 bottles of water every day. So there are things, just that are healthier that I've really pushed aside. But again, a lot of stress recently too. So just trying to get it all figured out. And then there's one other situation. And I am going to refrain from talking about that. This has been, I'm going to say active, for like 2.5 years, over 2.5 years at this point. I did get word that, I'm trying to be very vague about this, because I'm being respectful of the situation, and it is a major thing. But I did just also get word that should be coming to completion, hopefully within the next 30 to 45 days. And this was essentially another one of those instances where I stood up for myself, which is not easy to do, especially in certain times. But I did it. And I did it with a few intentions. For one, because I didn't want what happened to me to happen to others. And for two, it was wrong. It was wrong. And I spoke up. That was not easy at all. And so I've just not wanted to deal with that situation ever since. But it is still there in the background. So, knowing that that's going to basically provide some closure, it's also kind of been one of those things where I'm like, I did my part and that's all I really intended to do. The ultimate thing was like just speaking up and doing my part. So I do want to also say, a huge advocate for speaking up. It's important that we do this. We have to make sure that we're standing up for ourselves, and others, maybe for others who are afraid to speak up, who don't have a voice, who maybe don't know where to start. So, huge advocate for speaking up and speaking out about, what's wrong or what's not appropriate, what's not ethical. And yeah, just wanted to touch on these other few things here. Because again, and like my house is such a mess. This is the other thing, like my home, this is not my home normally. And all day today, I just kept thinking like, I'm going to clean up. I'm going to clean up. And I just have not done it. And I need to, I can't stand any of this. And really it's like, that's going to donate the filter. It's just a lot. And I can't manage cleaning my home right now to an extent either. But it will all get clean at some point soon because it's really getting on my last nerve. But I don't even know where I was going with all this. Anyway, let's get back to, I just wanted to pop in and touch on those other few things. Let's close out this journey. All right. So as we conclude these videos, I do want to give a tip to anybody out there who's walking or starting to walk, also mostly for females. There are some things that are very important that you do. If you walk daily, make sure, try to do your best to walk at different times, different paths, right? If you can't, okay. Regardless, as soon as you get home, what I always do is throughout my walks, I'm constantly just looking behind me, looking around, just checking and making sure essentially nobody's following me. The other thing you want to do is as soon as you get home, you come in and you immediately lock your door. I just cannot stress that enough. Lock your door. And, before you're even getting to your door, again, just being very aware of your surroundings. It's just very important. So I just wanted to put that out there. I also want to take a quick moment to talk about some of the things that were actually consistent throughout these past 60 days, essentially. Walking. I've walked every day for the last 60 days, at least 1 mile with the exception of 2 days. So very proud about that. Now, walking is something I used to do all the time. I did it every day for years on end. But with everything happening these past few years, I really fell out of my own routines and habits. And so really trying to get back into these healthier routines and habits. Now, Pilates is new. We talked a bit about that, right? That's been another consistency these past 60 days. And really, I've been integrating that one slowly over the past year. And I love it. We talked about that earlier. The water has been consistent. Me not sleeping has been consistent. There was one other thing I'm trying to remember. Oh, posting. Holy cow. I'm so excited about this one because I have posted a vlog daily every day, at least recorded. So I take that back. Okay. Through the month of June, I posted every day, continuously, daily. July, I did allow myself more flexibility with that. Again, experimenting with this freedom, knowing I was going to post, but also just being really tired and not even having the patience or the time or energy to edit videos and do all that. I really wanted to give you guys more, but I just, again, I didn't have the energy to constantly be recording and doing and editing. It is a lot of work. Again, I enjoy this, but I have posted pretty much over the past 60 days over 80 videos. So pretty excited about that. I don't know, proud, I guess. That's quite the accomplishment, and quite a bit of different videos. So mind you, again, the Doing All the Things challenge in June, and then July, the experimenting with freedom, my journey. And then, on top of those videos, I also posted, look, here's my boys, Javier and Dante here. And here's another one from when they were younger. Gosh, I get distracted easily, don't I? So on top of those videos, I also have my What's Cake cooking series that I really love and enjoy just sharing food. I think that's something else I've really learned, these past 2 months is like, I just love cooking, and I love creating new things and just playing with recipe ideas and sharing that and really sharing just how simple it is to cook. So I've loved that and just where that's going for me and how I feel about it. Really, I feel like that is one of those things that just really aligns with who I am. And I do want to give a shout out and a thank you to my mom, because she raised us on made from scratch food. We always ate really healthy, lots of salads. You know, she got me hooked on the unsweetened black tea. That's all we had in our house growing up, essentially. So, you know, thank you, Mom, for showing me how to cook and teaching me these healthier habits. But yeah, just coming to realize that these are things that are really important to me, and that I do love doing them and sharing them. So, you know, those videos, and then I don't know, whatever other videos I just trickled through, and I still have a bunch to work on and post. So not sure what's going to happen for the month of August. So stay tuned. I have got a few ideas, but I just don't know right now. I know more than anything, I do need to focus on like resting and just really working on a routine that works. And again, addressing how I'm coping with not sleeping and that stress. So we'll see what happens for the month of August. If anything, I'm sure there will be some check-ins, especially, again, keep in mind, great things coming, I hope, right? Or in the works. So we have the Guinness World Records. I know I mentioned all these earlier. I'm doing it again. I'm proud of these things. But the Guinness World Record application, again, where I am attempting to set the record for having captured the most hearts, meaning photographed. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. I initially heard from them and then they requested more information, and I did that, just haven't heard back since then. The other one I am so freaking proud of as well. Almost 10 million views of my Google reviews on Google Maps. That I'm going to celebrate. That is so truly incredible, and I'm just really looking forward to that moment. So I will be here for that with you guys to share that. And then lastly, me, you know, going to attempt a sponsorship and a partnership with the tortillas that I love. My tortilla land tortillas, they're not mine. I just act like they are because I love them so much. Just love them. So, you know, would love to partner with them because I already talk about how much I love their product for free. You know, let's make that work for both of us type of thing. But I do love those tortillas. So a few things, exciting, fun things still in the works. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Again, I'll be back. And I really just want to thank everyone for their patience with me throughout these videos. I know I've been very emotional and raw, it's just who I am, and what do I have to lose by being who I am anymore? Like, it's just, this is me. Hi. So thank you for your patience. Thank you more than anything for spending your time with me, you know, and my journey here. I appreciate that. Thank you for the comments, the likes, the new subscribers, my old subscribers. And again, just anybody watching the videos, I thank you. I'm going to just ice my ankle, have some wine, and enjoy the rest of my evening. So again, thank you. I could not thank you enough for your all, you know, the support. And to be honest, I know I'm like, oh my gosh, these videos are so much work, but it truly brings me so much joy to share whatever beauty I can find in our world with you all, whether it be street art or the hearts that I do capture or just a fun adventure somewhere. It really brings me so much joy and has helped my mental health a smidge. You know, it's just that spark there. So thank you all for being here. I'll see you guys soon.